Hi, it's Dr. Karen Kan with another edition of the Spiritual Medicine Digest. And for this week, I have some really interesting news. And it's all about quantum jumping into our new ideal future reality. So, the new reality or new ideal future reality, I got that term from one of my teachers, Laura Day, of The Circle, a best-selling book. And it was all about manifesting a future that you preferred versus one that you kind of default to, which a lot of us do. And so I like that term, ideal future reality, because if you think about it, no matter how many times we disagree with the people around us, whether it be our friends or family or Facebook people about whether we should or shouldn't vax or shouldn't mask, should or shouldn't lockdown, all these kinds of things. There can be so much arguments and division and hurtful feelings and things that give us a lot of stress. The one thing that we have in common is that the ideal future reality that's shared among us is very similar. And how do we quantum jump from our current reality to this ideal future reality? Well, the good news is that in my conversations with Source, we are like 99 point something, something, something already there. So I had a great conversation with some of my clients and with Source this week about this possibility, and how it came out was that one other person and myself, actually a couple of other people and myself in the past, it's rare, but what happened was when we did divine muscle testing, we were testing completely different answers. And then when I asked deeper questions, and this is why it's so important to have that alignment with Source, so you can ask the deeper question and be in the space of curiosity and not being defensive. Oh, I'm right, you're wrong, or you're right, I'm wrong, whatever, right? So we were curious and going, why is that? That, these folks that are very, very good, at myself as well, at divine muscle testing, why are we getting different answers? And when we dove deeper into that, what we found out was that you can actually muscle test something that is true in one reality that is not true in another reality. So I'm thinking, okay, is this like past lives, future lives, other dimensional lives, multiverses, parallel universes? Surprisingly and shockingly, the answer was no. I was like, okay, so what are we talking about here? So my current understanding, and I say current because it can change tomorrow, okay, with more information, but my current understanding is that if you look at everything that's already manifest into our reality, I'll call that, the infiniverse. Okay, so everything that's already manifested from the void, from the blackness, from the nothing, from the singularity, that's already manifested is what I call the infiniverse. So that includes the spiritual realms, that includes the physical realms, and everything in between, dimensional realms. A new reality, or the ideal future reality, where we are all peaceful, harmonious, joyful. So no matter what side of the masking or vaccination or whatever question you're on, don't we all want that? Well, maybe there's a few that don't, but but most of us want that same reality, right? That ideal future, healed, if you will, quantum reality is a separate infiniverse. I know it'd be great if I had like models here to show you, but so if you can imagine a bubble, okay, current reality where we are not yet healed, where we still have wars, there's still poor people, there's still people that are sick that don't need to be sick because they don't clean water, that kind of stuff, right? And then you have this ideal future reality where there's balance for everyone. So everyone is experiencing their own perception and version of peace, joy, prosperity, and harmony. Now you might say, Dr. Karen, well, that is a big leap. Okay, like I don't even think I can even believe in that. Well, I'm here to tell you it is imperative that you see and believe it. Why? Because we need your energy. In order to quantum jump to the new ideal future reality, you have to almost already be there or resonate at that frequency. Some people call it 5D. Okay, I'm just going to call it that healed reality, that healed quantum reality, or the ideal human reality, or actually for non-humans as well. So the ideal reality, so it's a completely different reality. So again, it's not a parallel timeline. It's not an alternate multiverse timeline. For those of you that know that, languaging from, some of my trainings, it is a completely different reality. So the quantum reality springs from the singularity, from the blackness. Some people call it the void, the 0 point. That area is just potential creation. But you and I and everyone in between are creators. And so we've created our current reality, and some things we see in there that we don't like. And then over here is this future ideal reality that, guess what, we have already created. So how do we get from over here to over here? And I'm going to share with you exactly how you get there. If source says, oh my gosh, you're 99 point whatever percent already there, how does that work? How does that work? Well, I'm going to tell you the formula. It's actually not difficult to understand. It's all about attention, intention, and inspiration. Okay, so let's break those down. Let's start with intention. Well, you know what? That piece, in a way, has already been taken care of, right? Because I think everybody on the planet, or almost everybody on the planet, has this desire to experience that prosperity, that joy, like loving to do what they do and have fun. And here's the thing, when people have their needs met, okay, and we're not talking about the random few that are, that love to see darkness and want to hurt people. Okay, I'm not talking about those guys. I'm talking about the average person. The average person, if you give them the opportunity to have their needs met, and then they have the opportunity not to worry about how to make their ends, how to make ends meet, but to go, well, what do I want to do today? And what do I want to create today? A lot of times people will delve into their gifts, their talents, whether that be woodworking or singing, an artist. You probably heard of that term, starving artist, right? Well, there are some artists that make a heck of a lot of money, okay? They do not have that particular blueprint. But there's a lot of more that have that starving artist blueprint. And we might say, well, art, it's not necessary. Well, in some societies, it's not necessary for survival. I get that, maybe. But in a growing, evolving society where you don't have to worry about where your next meal is coming from, or how to pay for the roof over your head, right? Or how to get from A to B without walking 5,000 miles in sneakers, right? Like when you have your needs met, I believe people naturally will gravitate to the stuff they love to do. And what comes out of that is they naturally love to help others. I really, truly believe that in my heart of hearts. And the reason that we don't see more of that, we see it forced, okay? So what I mean by forced, we see it sort of like, oh, you go to church and you should tithe, right? Because it's good to give to others, right? But on the other hand, you go back home and people are like just worried about their bills and blah, 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 right? If you're worried, you don't have faith. And that place of worry is not a place where people feel naturally giving. When people feel taken care of, nurtured from within, they naturally give. It's part of who they are, I think. Anyway, as humans, we naturally want to give. So in order for us to quantum jump to this new reality, we have to resonate at that place. But we've already made the first step, which is to intend. That intention is, that's where I'd like to go. Okay, can we all agree? Yes, that's what we would like to go, right? Where there's joy and harmony and peace for all. So the intention's already there. So that's awesome. And because of that, that reality has already been created, or 99 point whatever, already created, right? So how do we experience that reality and not the reality where there's war and strife and arguments and, whatever, tyrannical governments? It's through the next step, attention. So what are you paying attention to while you're awake? And I thought to myself, oh, what am I paying attention to? I may have to actually discipline a little bit. Like, what do I pay attention to? Now, the really cool thing is that when you can connect to 0 point in source, like immediately within a few seconds or minutes. Now, the way I do it is through stillness, through observing a tonal movement, and that is one of the one of the skill sets that I talk about in my Sensitivity is Your Superpower book, chapter 4. It's so key because the cool thing is once you've set that intention, the attention piece is much easier because there's a couple of ways of doing this. We've been taught, and it works, it's a little bit more work, but it works, is that you visualize and you embody, meaning that you feel it in your physical form, your imagination of that future ideal reality. Remember, that's already created. So what is it for your part of your neck of the woods, your little parcel of life? What does it look like for you? Well, maybe it looks like going to Italy uh, um, without having to mask or vaccinate. I'm just giving an example. Maybe it's going to Italy and eating wonderful Italian food and being by the seashore and whatever, right? And music. And so you in your neck of the woods, you might be experiencing this ideal future reality of you in Italy, right? So for me, it might be, I'm in Switzerland and I'm skating at the biggest outdoor man-maintained rink on the planet, on a beautiful sunny day. And, it's just wonderful. There's all these people smiling and laughing and children. And, so that might be in my little neck of the woods, that slice of my future ideal reality. So one technique is to actually be able to imagine, but not just visualize. Visualize is really like seeing, but embody. In other words, you not only see, but you hear, you smell, you taste if you're eating anything, you touch. What does it feel like, right? So in that future reality, that particular slice of, that moment, I might be skating on this humongous football size field ice rink, outdoor ice rink. And I could feel the cold on my face, and I've got my little hat with the little ear thingies on, and when I sniff, my nose goes like this, and have you been in dry cold weather? If you haven't, people in Arizona are like, well, I don't know what you're talking about. Okay, well, your nose hairs actually stick together. Okay, never mind. So yeah, so I can imagine that. I can feel that in my body. I can feel right now, like even as I talk to you, I can feel myself skating on there. I can feel there's a gentle breeze and the sun on my face is really warm, and I can hear the laughter of the children. And, my husband and I are having a great time, looking forward to our hot chocolate, when we get inside the chalet, right? So I can feel that. I can taste it. I get, all those senses. And when I pay attention to that, that is me seeding that quantum reality, that ideal quantum reality, and I'm being there. So the attention, that proportion of time during the day where you're resonating at that frequency of your ideal future reality is the way that you can help. The way that you can help all of us get to that harmonious, joyful, prosperous future for all. Because that's like my mission, it's like, how do we do that? How do we get there? So that's one way. And here's the really cool thing. The second way is just resonating in that peace while you're connected to the 0 point, that alignment part that we do at the first step for Topocan Healing Method, the first step to connecting to your intuition on the Intuitive Decision Making Roadmap program. It's the first step for many programs because it's that powerful. And once you have kind of set your scene, if you will, of your ideal new reality for you, personal to you, all you really need to do, unless you want to change the scene every day, and you can, is just to connect to 0 point. Because you've already made your intention. And if your attention is on your body and the vibration within, you're connected to that 0 point, the God within, the wisdom within. And the more you do that during the day, the more you are putting more energy and attention into that future ideal reality and less into the current non-ideal reality or the unhealed reality that we are well aware of. So it doesn't have to be hard and it doesn't have to be long. I know a lot of people say, well, meditation is wonderful, and there's many different benefits of meditation. There's blood pressure and stress relief and all sorts of, things that have been proven in science. What I'm talking about is really how do we use our bodies to quantum jump into that new healed quantum reality. And you might notice if you do divine muscle testing, this is a great thing to test. You test what percentage of time in this body timeline during my waking hours am I attending to the ideal healed future quantum reality, and what percentage of my waking time am I attending or paying attention to the old quantum reality, right? And then get a percentage out of 100% that both should, end up, if you add them both, to 100%. So once I understood this, when I did my own measurement, I'm going to be really transparent here. When I did my own measurement, I was about 60% in the new reality and 40% in the old reality. And I know very well when I'm in the old reality because, I'm listening to, some of my colleagues, blowing the whistle in terms of, hey, be careful about that vaccine and yada, yada. And then I'm, hearing news reports of, who got censored today and, the wonderful, amazing warriors, in Canada that are friends of mine, and some, independent news agencies, lawyers, and all that kind of stuff, really, quote unquote, fighting for freedom, right? And so what happens is it's not that that's wrong, not at all, not at all. I really appreciate their love and their work and why they're doing it and doing for our children and grandchildren, all that stuff. It's amazing. And as I pay attention to that, I am putting more energy into that old reality. But there is a bridge between these two. You can both pay attention to the one, but resonating and this other one. Now you go, how do I do that, Dr. Karen, right? What's the formula? Well, we talked about intentions already there, the attention. Okay, and how do we get our attention over here? Now, you could do it the traditional way, which is spending 5 minutes a day visualizing, embodying your ideal new reality in whatever scene you choose. So today, Italy, tomorrow, France, right? Whatever it is you want to, you can do that for 5 minutes a day, and then go into stillness throughout the day, and you can seed, that even stronger. But this inspiration bridge between the two worlds is really if you are paying attention to something that is well-meaning, yes, well-meaning, not well-meaning, well-meaning, but is in a lower vibration just because it resonates at that current reality, right? Even if it's from really good people, people you trust, whatever. What you can do, this is the key, is excuse me, as you are, get too excited sometimes, as you are paying attention to the news, the whistleblowers, the freedom fighter, whatever, nanotech particles and swabs. I don't even know if that's real, but anyway, so say you're paying attention to that. Go into stillness while you are doing that. And if you don't know how to do that, oh my gosh, it's a free training, stillnessonthefly.com. Okay, so you're resonating in the 0 point while you are paying attention to the outside world to these things. But what's happening is you're resonating at that higher vibration while you were looking at whatever you're looking at. Now, even if you have an emotional reaction to something, like today, there was like a beautiful, I thought it was a beautiful video of a 92-year-old Holocaust survivor just, making a speech. This was in Canada at one of the rallies. And she was such a beautiful soul. Like, I was moved to tears, absolutely. And at the same time, feeling my body and feeling the vibration of that simultaneously. And that's that bridge. That's that inspirational bridge between the current reality and the new reality. Yeah, just giving you that formula. So it's not wrong to look at mainstream news. It's not wrong to look at the whistleblowers. It's not, just understand that there is a brand new, new to us, current, non-current, ideal reality, future reality that is healed, that's already created, or 99 point whatever percent created. So to quantum jump just means to resonate at that frequency, and how you resonate that frequency is pay attention to what you're paying attention to, but also be in stillness, no matter what you're paying attention to. And that will be that bridge, and you'll quantum jump. And what's really interesting is, since this realization, when I retested myself today, as into the percentage over the last 24 hours of my attention in the ideal new reality and the old reality, instead of 60-40, it was 70-30. I was like, oh, that's awesome. Woohoo. Yay me. Okay, so I want you to celebrate you too. And don't worry if you go, ugh, my score is like, 20/80. I'm 20% in the new reality, only 80% in the current reality. It doesn't matter. It doesn't really matter because now you have that formula, right? So, I mean, this information may sound like Greek to some, but unless you're Greek, it may sound like, completely different language. Like, what is she talking about? But there's a subconscious part of you that already knows, that already can feel it to go, oh, okay. And that's cool because the more consciousnesses, the more people that can bridge and quantum jump to that new reality, the easier and faster it is for all of us. We reinforce, if you will, that positive morphic field of already having done it, which is super, super cool. So this is very, very good news. And what that means is even if they're so-called negative things that are, that we're hearing about, deaths or tyrannical governments or whatever, people dying of COVID, now whatever that is, okay? Even if that on the outer part seems like, oh, that's our reality, just know that you have a choice in where to put your attention. And wherever you choose is okay. But if you're vibrating, at that place of peace and joy, etc., no matter what goes on, you will be helping us usher in that new era. Now, I don't know on a practical basis how that's going to manifest. I know we've always been told in terms of masterful manifesting, the how is left to the universe. Okay, but you're like, but somebody has to do it. Well, guess what? If you don't already know how to do it on a practical basis, it's probably not your job. And it's probably not my job either, right? So we do what we do well. Let other people use their gifts to do what they do well and to help out. And, we have a lot of help. Let's just say a lot of non-human embodied and non-embodied help, okay, with very high vibrational beings that are helping us. So don't feel like you're alone, and don't feel like we as humanity are alone and isolated from the rest of creation. We are not. This is an amazing journey, an amazing experiment, if you will. And nothing is truly bad, even though it seems sometimes bad. And I have to remind myself of that probably every day. And that's okay. So I would love for you to, so what I'm going to do is I am going to do a Topic and Healing Directive because people really like those. Certain things will clear and heal for you if it's the right time. So what we're going to do in this Topic and Healing Directive is to optimize your ability to attend to your future ideal reality. There will be one or two people, maybe a little more, that may have to know more, which means you have to do some investigation of why you can't attend more to your ideal future reality. Is there a negative emotion you need to release? Is there inherited vibration you need to release? Is there something that you're feeling from mass consciousness that needs to release? Okay, sometimes you do need to know what the actual thing is, and then you can take advantage of this general directive. So what I would like you to do, if it's safe for you to do that, you can close your eyes. I'm going to go ahead and say the directive. I'll have you just go ahead and tune in to your body. And then let me know afterwards in the comments attached to this video how that feels. Ready? Here we go. I now command that everything and anything that can be healed, released, and resolved that prevents you from fully attending to your ideal future reality in the best way be healed now, ease, speed, and grace, all directions of time and all timelines where you exist. Thank you. So you can open your eyes and just note how that feels in the body. And then, if you're on YouTube, just go ahead and type that in, or on Odyssey, go ahead and type that in the comments. Let me know how that feels in your body. And then if there's something else that I said today, that resonated with you, or maybe you were completely confused, also put that in the comments so I can help clarify things. And I do hope that what we shared today is transformational for you as it was for me. And so I'm paying attention to what I'm paying attention to more and more on a daily basis. So speaking about being in that joy and that peace and resonate at that high frequency, I do have some announcements. One of the announcements is that the Navigating the Clickety Clack book, Volume 2. I was in Volume 1. It was the #1 international bestseller in 9 countries. So Volume 2 with Joe Vitale, Marie Diamond, and some of my awesome wellness leadership friends and colleagues. That is coming out next week, April 6th, 2021. And there is a launch party. Love parties. And during the launch party, there will be drawings for prizes. You'll get to meet the authors and, get to post some questions. So this is a great opportunity, and we would love to help the Navigating the Clickety Clack Volume 2 also become a #1 international bestseller. So wait until that window of time during the launch party to actually purchase your copy. And that could be, you don't even have to purchase if you're not into physical books like I am, you can purchase the Kindle version. I think it's like 99 cents or something. So it's like amazing. So I'd really love your support and help with this book. I think the information is so important to give people tools on how to stay calm and feeling good in themselves, how to get to know themselves despite whatever, chaos and stuff is going around the world. It's so important because every single highly successful and happy person that I know knows how to do that. Okay, so yes, so join us there. I'll put the link near this video. The other announcement is that on Monday's Light Warrior Radio Show, we, Dr. Dennis Lobstein, and myself and I are going to be talking about prostate health and how to use certain acupuncture points with phototherapy patches to support the health of the prostate and the urinary tract, especially in men. So if you know a male who's been, peeing a lot at night or having difficulty with the stream or inflammation in the prostate, this is the great show for you to be at. So I'm going to post the link near this, and it'll be archived as well in case you can't make it live. If you can make it live and you have a question about how to use phototherapy patches for any other symptom, you could certainly call in live and ask Dr. Dennis and myself some questions about that. So I look forward to connecting with you live then. The other thing I would like you to know is that I made a PDF document. It's literally like 3 pages of the 10 essential things you should know before getting a vaccination. And this is a fairly, I would say, if I were to judge, a fairly balanced approach to the vaccination. So I'm not telling people not to get it or to get it, but just, 10 essential things that you may want to look into or know before you make that decision. So I am not allowed to post that on Facebook because of censorship reasons. So I am going to, the amazing thing is they can actually read the words on my image now. I'm not just talking about me, but before they couldn't read the words on the image. Now AI is more sophisticated, so they can actually read the word vaccination on an image. So the PDF is actually attached to a couple places you can get it. You can get it on my MeWe channel, Light Warrior Network group. You can get a copy of it there. You can get a copy of it at Telegram. If you're on my Light Medicine with Dr. Karen Can Telegram channel, you can get it there. I posted it there. And if you're part of the International Academy of Universal Self-Mastery, I posted it in my Sensitivity is Your Superpower group. So those are the 3 places that you can get it. I'm sorry I cannot post it on Facebook, but I'd love for you to have it, and feel free to share it if you find that it's useful for you. Last but not least, there is a survey. And at the time of this recording, we have just a couple of days left before the survey closes. It's a 2-question survey asking, what are your needs right now? So if I could help you with something, what would that be? Because I have an interview coming up April 12th with You Wealth Revolution. So Darius and I want to know, what do you want? What do you want to hear? Do you want Do you want to know more about manifesting prosperity or abundance, or more about healing physical body, or more about pain relief, or more about, how to negate negative frequencies from whatever, mind control, nanobots, vaccinations, whatever it is? What is it that is the top of mind for you? What are you looking at? What are you, reading? What are you sensing? What do you need help with? Because that's going to really help guide us for the interview. So again, we are going to close the survey in a few days, because we do need to gather the information to get ready for the interview, because there's pages to be done, there's things to be written, there's things to be rearranged. So would really love your help in that. So I will also post this below this video so you can help me with that. All right, so this is this week's Spiritual Medicine Digest. I am so happy that you're here with me today. Again, post in the comments after you did the Topicam Healing Directive, and notice how you felt. Would love to hear, and also whether or not what we talked about today was useful for you, and how is it useful for you. That'd be really awesome. Feel free to share this with anyone who is like-minded, who would appreciate it. And last but not least, if you're on YouTube, please hit subscribe so you don't miss any of my Spiritual Medicine Digest videos. Until next time, lots of love. Bye for now.